Hello, I'm Gary Lyon and welcome to Access All Areas. Plenty to get through today, and joining me, as he does every week, is Damien Barrett. Welcome, Damo.
Thank you, Gaz. Let's start with the most recent game, Gaz. The Collingwood-Melbourne game was a really ugly game to watch as a neutral observer, but the one thing that resounded out of it to me, which it has done for most of the Collingwood games this year, was just their intensity and pressure.
Yeah, I think at the start of the game, Melbourne probably would have taken Collingwood 8 goals at the end of it all, but the fact they only kicked 3 was down to this sort of pressure. And I thought for the first time in quite some time, Melbourne's younger players struggled a bit, and that would be due to this intensity and pressure that you talk about. I thought Christian Salem, Dom Tyson probably had his worst game for the year, even Jack Viney and Kennedy Harris when he came on. And Goldsack, that's his trademark, that pressure in the forward half, and the rest of his team all bought in. And look, it was a good contest. I thought Melbourne applied some good pressure as well, but eventually it told.
Look, the pressure was certainly apparent in Mick Moldhouse's last couple of years, and it was there probably in Nathan Buckley's first year, but last year, Gaz, 2013, it wasn't there every week, was it? Yet apart from, I think, one lapse this year, it's been there. It's part of what they're about. It
is for sure. And look, tackling is a mindset thing. It's something that is controlled above the shoulders. You've got to want to do it, and you've got to be in a good space. And I always find when you've got other things that are muddling you up in terms of, you know, the form or perhaps some unrest amongst the group, then that can get dropped by the wayside. So it's a really good positive sign. As is Jack Frost.
Yeah, had problems down back, haven't they?
They have, or injury problems.
Injury problems.
That's what they've had. They've been lost their key position players. Reid out for a long time. Maxwell now out as well. And this bloke he's seamless. He's been seamless moving into this role, Damo. And he's wiry and rangy. He's super quick. I'm not as confident with ball in hand. I don't think I want him kicking too much, but every other aspect of it, they've found a player to play in one of the hardest positions in the game, and that is a bonus.
So when Reid comes back, and he's played in the VFL on the weekend, is there a natural spot there for him down back, or do you just stick with Frost?
Well, I'd be sticking with Frost right now because his form's so impeccable, and then it is up to Ben Reid to work, and Collingwood to work out where they slide him back in.
There's been a lot of fanfare about Melbourne's resurgence this year. I mean, bottom line is they've still only won the 3 games. Just want to compare them, though, Gaz, with a team that has had a lot said about it in recent times, Carlton. Lost another by a narrow margin on the weekend, the Blues. But this list here, players who are 24 and under, and we raise this because if you haven't got a good list amongst these type of players, you are not going to be in that premiership window in 3, 4, 5 years' time. Who stacks up better there?
Well, I think they're still a bit more unproven on the Melbourne side of it. We can probably make more judgments on Carlton's. So that can often be a difficult thing to do. But in terms of talent, you'd probably say the left-hand group, Melbourne. But, you know, in another year's time, that's assuming that Hogan gets there, that Salem gets there, that Toumpas has got to prove that he can play.
I mean, Hogan hasn't played a game, and yet he's considered to be the next big thing, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, Levi Casbolt's got a lot to like about him as well, but he can't. His kicking lets him down at times, but is a fantastic mark. So, it's a really interesting list. You'd have Melbourne, I think, marginally ahead at this stage with some form still to be sorted out. Richmond are not in that group there. They led by 35 points at half-time against North Melbourne, a side who've got a tendency to open the door. Have a look at this. This is from the 3-minute mark of the third quarter, and the common theme in this, that was Harvey. This is Petrie. Every score involvement includes one of their senior leaders. Every single one of them. You have a look at this as it goes along, and
look how quickly it's happening too.
And they simplified it by getting Majak Dor off and went long to the top of the square, and there is another leader, Zeeble. Petrie gets involved again. Harvey here, quick hands to Nahas. It was simplified game plan, and Richmond were powerless, disappointingly so for their supporters to do anything about it.
Because the thing about North Melbourne this year, it's been bad, good, bad, good. What we had on the weekend was bad and good within the one game. It's the first time they've had that in the one game. It's either been really good or really bad in whole games. Whereas this was a key moment, I reckon, at half-time with Brad Scott making the pretty bold call at that stage to sub out Majak Dor. I reckon it was a really gutsy decision to make, and it just transformed the thinking and I think the players' mindset. Yeah,
gutsy or otherwise, it was the right decision to make because structurally he was getting in the road at times. He made a bad decision just prior to half-time to have a shot when he had Black inside. So this is not a crack at Majak at all. He's just still got to learn the craft of the game, and it helped Drew Petrie to simplify it. Go long.
Does he not play a senior game again in 2014 for North?
I don't put as big a wipe on it, but he has to. I think he goes back and continues to learn the craft of playing AFL footy, which is a difficult thing for people who have grown up playing it, let alone someone that's come to the game late. No, he may still get there.
You've been very critical, and I reckon it goes back 3 or 4 weeks now. You highlighted this, that the leadership at the Tigers just not being where it needs to be? There's nothing that's happened in the past fortnight that makes you think that it's on the improvement.
No, I feel like I've spoken about it so much for a couple of weeks, but it will continue to be a talking point until they arrest it and do something about it, as the Kangaroo leaders did on the weekend, and that falls firmly at the feet of Cochin, Delidio, Marich, Jackson and Chaplin. And whether or not it's there, we'll tell over the next couple of months.
No need to labour this point. Joe Watson out for at least 10 weeks, possibly this season. Does that mean Essendon's season's over? Well,
I think he has as big an influence on his team as almost anyone in the competition, so naturally enough it's going to be a real challenge for those players. Zarakis, these sorts of blokes, Stanton, Goddard, their time comes now to try and
Can
get
they make finals without Joe?
I don't think they can. That's assuming Gold Coast form stands up, so I think it makes it very, very hard for them.
Okay. Match review panel, guys. To me, it's in disarray since the Jack Viney situation of round 7. This is Buddy Franklin and Clay Cameron on the weekend.
Yep.
Got off.
Yes.
Got off that.
Knew he would.
Well, you did know he would, because we'll get onto that in a minute. There's just the replayed slow motion, head jolts, and he does hit him with force, although the tribunal said, match review panel said not enough force. Late last year, Buddy Franklin in a Hawthorn jumper on Nick Malcheski in a Swans jumper.
Yep.
If there's two incidents that are close to exactly the same on a footy field, these are the two incidents. We'll just freeze frame them
here. Nice work by you.
And then we'll go one step further again, Gaz, and actually stop at the point of impact. That's the same. And how can one incident be deemed worthy of a week out of footy and one just totally not?
It's a reasonable point you make, to be perfectly honest, Damo. I would be... look, I don't know. It's confusing. I'm glad he didn't get rubbed out.
How do we do this, though, guys? This match review panel, I'm telling you, since round 7, I know that I'm still in minority about what happened to Jack Viney, but since that moment, people are getting off left, right and centre. Adam Goods got off for hitting Selwood a couple of weeks ago. Ballantyne on the weekend. Now, how can they not make a ruling on this? They've sent this to the tribunal.
Well, Yanch got concussed, that's why. And I think they've said, well... In the fairness of play, he shouldn't get rubbed out. But if we actually go down and tick all the boxes, he will get rubbed out, and there's no wriggle room. So they have to send that. Well, they don't have to, but they've elected to send it to the tribunal with the hope that he gets off. That's fantastic play.
Can I put you to put your match review channel hat on right now and make it the common sense match review?
I can do it in 5 minutes. I'll make it easy. Give me a
Buddy Franklin on
Buddy Franklin, give me a cheque for $10,000. It was a stupid act, not worthy of being suspended. And if you do it again, 20 grand. Off you go, out the door.
Hayden Ballantyne on Yens.
Free to play. Nice, good.
Free to play, just keep going.
Absolute good footy.
Goods on Selwood 2 weeks ago.
A week, jumped off the ground, hit him in the head there. Adam, you know that it was the wrong thing to do. There's a week you're not playing.
Ablett on Pickin.
Ablett.
Another big name who got off.
Not clear on the vision. I know you hit him in the head. You know you hit him in the head. You're very lucky you're still eligible for the Brownlow. Very lucky, Gary Ablett.
It's making more sense, I hate to say this, than the match review panel.
Yeah, Dave, I can do them in 5 minutes for you.
Something else that makes more sense. We've finally got the cameras in the goalpost, guys. We've been talking about this for years. This is all we needed. It's not foolproof. Don't get me wrong. Vincent has hit this ball on the way through. It's not foolproof, Gary, but it's the best form of it protecting yourself from a
This
shambles.
is known as the Barrett System. That's how it's known in football circles. It is. I have to agree with you. It is. It's not foolproof, but Gary, it is a great.
And look, there's a better camera shot.
No, it is. Where?
Coming up.
Where? Show
Here.
me. This one. Oh, the one that shows the ball's actually over the line. Is that what you're talking about right there? No, I agree. That should be brought in straight away. So fair enough.
Every venue, it doesn't cost that much. Just do it from there.
I'll defer to you. Now, Tommy Hawkins taken a while to kick goals.
Yes,
the umpire, I think, woke up to it too late at half-time. This is in the second quarter. Got the clock on this. Bang. Away you go. The rule is at 15 seconds, the umpire should say 15 seconds. At 25 seconds, he must have commenced his run-up to kick the goal, at which time then the umpire will let it go.
So what's going on here?
Well, I think they just fell asleep, the umpies.
Look at this.
So he commenced his run-up then at 36 seconds.
This is Matthew Lloyd type.
It's his bit of Lordo about him. So that was the first one. This is the next one. Bang, whistle goes. We didn't even start the clock on the first whistle. We started on the second whistle.
Yep.
So here we go. Back you go.
2 seconds there already.
Now, bearing in mind, 25 seconds is when he has to have started his run-up for goal.
Yep.
That is now. And he's still going.
So what's the umpire doing?
He's still asleep, the ump. He commenced his run-up again at about the 37 second mark.
So what you're saying is here, Tom Hawkins had this coming in the last quarter?
No, yeah, he did, but they got it wrong here. This is the one they actually called. Now, the fact of the matter is, Damo, when you do commence your run-up, it's too late. The umpy's made his mistake because at 25 seconds now, he should have started. He starts now. Well, that's too late.
So these umpires refuse to pay a free kick in the final 15 minutes,
That's
including
right.
one when Menzel had his head ripped off, and yet they can't police things that they can police.
No, and look, all the umpires will be onto this now, and if you're a goal kicker in the AFL, get yourself sorted because they're going to crack down on this big time this weekend.
Same
heads up.
Yeah, good, well highlighted. Same umpires let this incident go too, guys. Mitch Robinson pushing Nigel Lappin, the Geelong runner, out of the way.
Almost should be open slather.
You're into the runners.
Almost should be open slather on runners. He should have been given a free 5-second Mitch Robinson on Nigel Lappin. Get out, you blokes.
And it wasn't the only time that Carlton people thought Nigel Lappin was in their space on the weekend, so that'll be brought to the AFL's attention too. You like this, Aaron Sandilands, big man going for a run, Gaz.
He thinks he's Robbie Flower. Watch this. There he goes. Goes on the left hand. Nice. And he says, now watch me do it on the right hand. Oh, no, now I've lost it. Now watch me handball. Oh, no, I won't.
It's Ray Gabelich.
It was Ray Gabelich. I love the way he takes it on, and I love the right-hand, left-hand combination. Yeah. Left, I got that one. Now watch this. No, not quite right, but I loved it. I love this one even more. Ever seen a bloke try to handball with his head?
No.
Have a look at this. This is Josh Saunders. Gets tackled, his arm gets grabbed, ball goes up, and bang, header. Don't know what's going on there.
Well, it's a throw. Surely it was paid as a throw, wasn't it?
It would have been. But he tried to improvise.
Maybe it wasn't this
I like
weekend.
that. This is a sort of Queen's Birthday special funnies reel at the end of our show.
I've got another one for you.
What?
Aaron Young of Port Adelaide took a mark in front of his teammate Big Hoff and then realised he shouldn't have done that because he then does this to try and make up for it. And it's something that I would have thought Ken Hinkley would be just shaking his head at. What would you play on at the point of the goal square, Gary?
Well, could Aaron Young have waited for more people to get around the ball before he tried to play on from 7 metres out? It is an extraordinary brain fade. The loss.
Now, this brought our attention to something when you were playing with Jeff Farmer.
Yes.
Very similar here. You were clearly calling for the ball in this occasion.
With me back to the footy.
Why would Jeff Farmer handball it to you otherwise?
Well, respect, Damien. That's why. He knows very well where he's
let him have a shot at goal.
Still kicked it. He should just go back and kick the goal, but look at Barman. Have a look at the great man. He just, oh, God help me. Oh, no, don't be a lip reader. He was a great man, Jeffrey Farmer. Hey, Damo, very nice. Queen's birthday, you spent the whole day on that show, so well done to you. You're best for the year, I think. We'll be back to our normal time next week on the Monday. Thanks for watching Access All Areas. See you next week.